Hello everyone, welcome to National Defense Institute. So today in this video we shall discuss about CDS previous year questions of Geography Series 1 2022s. Alright, so let's dive into the questions. It's the very first question. Which one of the following is the first urban settlement in the world to reach a population size of 1 million? That means you have your million plus cities. See, in the cities we have some of the million plus cities, megapolis, metropolis, cosmopolitan cities. So like that, the question what they are asking is size of 1 million. That means almost like 10 lakhs how it has been, which is the one to reach the fastest. So here the question they have asked is your London, Paris, New York and Washington DC. So actually the answer for this is your million plus city is your New York. Of course London also evolved very first time during those period when there was a industrial revolution, but much of the one to reach its urban settlement very first is your New York City. All right, yes. Next one, which one of the following climatic types, especially the Köppen scheme, he is the one of the German climatologist who has given the climate classification, is best suited to describe the climate of the western fringe of Rajasthan. See, with respect to Köppen scheme, we have some of the world climate. Typically for even for India also, he has given some of the classification for Indian climate. So especially if you take as per his letters, he has given some of the uppercase letters like A, B to standardize the climate, C and D, E. So if you go for that, A is with respect to tropical, and you have is B is your for your dry climate, and C is for temperate climate, D is for cold snow, E is for cold climate, and he has also H is there for highlands. So the thing is, we do have some of the other lowercase letters like F, M, W, S, like no dry season, monsoon, winter dry, summer dry. He has used some of the uppercase letters and lowercase letters. So that is the combination what they have given here. So the condition here is in the western Rajasthan. So if you go to the Rajasthan, Rajasthan is typically what you have your desert. So obviously the western Rajasthan is the one they are asking. So on the eastern side of the Rajasthan, you do find some of the good rainfall because of the merging of your eastern, the Bay of Bengal branch of monsoon and the Arabian Sea of monsoon. But the exact western fringe is having purely desert. So the desert climate what we have is your dry climate. That means it must start with B. So the option which is one starting with the B is your option C. So if you know this terms easily, you can eliminate and come back to this one. So W is what you have your winter dry. Actually this W has to be uppercase W. That means the W which is used for desert climate, and this W is for your winter dry. So you will be having a winter and little rainfall during the summer. So answer for this is your option C, that is BWHW. All right, yeah. Where are the Bermuda Islands located? See, this is the one of the good example for your world map based question. So when you have this kind of a question, you should know where exactly the different islands are located, like Bermuda Islands, like Caribbean Islands, like of that Hawaiian Islands or Falkland Islands, Mauritius, like lot of islands are there in the entire ocean. So for this Bermuda Island is present in your North Atlantic Ocean. All right. So the answer is direct one. So no need to much discuss. It's a North Atlantic Ocean is the way your Bermuda Islands are located. Next one. Which one of the following states of the Union Territory has the highest percentage of forest area to the total geographical area? See, percentage is something like over the area. What is the percentage? For example, 90% or 70%. With respect to area, if you take the forest cover, we discuss that as the percentage. When you go with respect to the percentage, your Arunachal Pradesh is the state which is having the highest percentage of forest area. But the actual forest area by the land cover, if you take, that is your Madhya Pradesh. So by the land cover, it is Madhya Pradesh, but if you take the percentage, it is Arunachal Pradesh. So every 2 years the biennial survey. So biennial survey, what that will be given by the Forest Survey of India. Based on that, they will give the state's performance of what are the states, how they are doing, what is the forest cover, how it is increasing based on the percentage and based on the land cover. So they do give the ascending order or descending order, and how exactly the forest encroachment has taken place, where exactly the forest has been improved. Everything is done in this Forest Survey of India, that is conducted every 2 years. All right, for a survey of India. So there will be certain changes, especially with the loss of the forest. Okay, so with this, for the answer is your A, Arunachal Pradesh. Let's go. In India, the period of steady population growth refers to the decades. See, especially when you take your demographic transition theory, which is given by some of the Malthusian and other people have given different type of theories, especially with respect to population. So what happen if you take with respect to India's 1911, if I take, and today's 2011 we have done the census, and if we go next will be your 2021, like that. So what exactly happened, we had our population that is going to be something like this, at little decline in 1950s, then it started suddenly surge, and that is where you, after this we will be having somewhat a stagnation that is going to be achieved. So because here in this condition we had our, of course, birth rate was also more, sorry, you had your uh, birth rate also more, uh, birth rate more, and also the death rate was also more. So that's why your population was very less. And later and all, World War One, World War Two happened. So, and you have your bubonic plague. So your death rates were high. So death rates were high. And later and all, once we got the freedom, your birth rate started to improve, and death rate started to be controlled because of the much of the good medication and health facilities. And even later and all, how development has made that is your birth rate also started to control automatically because of the some of the awareness about the contraceptive techniques, and good economic development and family planning. So those kind of things actually helped you to control the birth rate also. So now almost India has reached the 2.1 fertility rate. So that is the replacement level of the next level of population. So now by 1980 and the post, we are seeing some of the population growth achieving its stagnant, and by 2060 to 70 our population starts to decline. That means how exactly now the China is feeling. So our age old population will increase. By that period we will be having the enough demographic dividend. So the answer for this is your steady growth of population. So obviously it is your 81 and 2011. All right, so let's go for the next one. Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh is known for. Say, in this type of question you can come to the answer actually by, see, solar energy need not to be something only present in Himachal Pradesh, it is also present in other states also. So you can eliminate that one. See, bioenergy, something you can produce everywhere. So bioenergy, the wind energy is also present everywhere. This is the answer for your geothermal energy, because along the Indian plate, if you take Himachal Pradesh is the where you have your Himalayas that is going, because you have a convergent plates and it is acting as a margin. So it is much active in your geothermal energy. So because of that you will be finding some of the hot springs present over that region. So especially how they are all present is your, because of this geothermal energy. So answer for this is your option B. See, what a easy question. All the things were like available everywhere. So something specialty with this with your geothermal energy. Okay. Next one. Which of the following are the functions of the environment? See, why do you need environment? Environment do give some services, do give some ecological services. Like for example, supplying resources, of course, yes. So answer has to be in A, C, and D. Sustaining life, of course, no. When we have, why are we surviving or struggling to safeguard our environment? Because it helps us to sustain the life. So obviously, 1 and 2. Where you have 1 and 2 options, C, you can directly go for the option C as your answer, even though if you are not reading third one, but providing aesthetic services, of course, right? No, so that's why we do go for some of the ecotourism, and people try to build some of the good farmhouse or something like in the mountain terrains, hilly terrains, the good locations, they want to have the retired life. So that is what the answer is C. See, with this options only you can come to the answer, but you have to keep a check on the options available and the statements given. So if you have every to and fro look, you will be getting the answer easily. Okay, fine. Match the list. See, this match the list, and in the earlier videos also we have discussed about how exactly we can do the match the following. So similar way we shall go. So here the soil type and the salient characteristics they have given. So first one is your entisols. What do you mean by entisols? These entisols are the one which are actually high quantity of organic matter. Sorry, these entisols are the one which have no horizons, with no horizons, much horizon, because only you have your one of the horizon, that is A horizon, that is going to be present. See, if you take a soil profile, if you take one soil profile, you have a different horizons that is going to be present. For example, O horizon, A horizon, E horizon, A, E, B horizon, C, and R horizon, where you have your unearthed rock. This is where you have your much of your parent rock. D is where you have your elevation layer. This is the elevation layer. A is where you have much of the decayed and humus content is present, and you have minerals are less, and where you have organic matter that is much present here. So what I told you is the entisols is the one which is having much of your A horizon, much of the, not much, all the horizons are present. So A is 2. So when A is 2, only we have these two options, C and D is eliminated, and option D is automatically matched. So D, oxysols, is soils are very old and highly weathered, is the third one. So option for this is your so and so. We have to gamble between 1 and 4. See, inceptisols are the one which are actually called as your one which is highly having a high quantity of organic matter. Histosols are weak and quickly developed horizons. So for this, if you go C match C1, so option for you or the correct answer will be option B for this. All right, fine. A peripediment in a desert or a semi-desert region is also known as, what exactly is that? See, peripediment is the one which is something like in the arid area there will be some sort of small elevation. So during because of that, some of the wind or those kind of things make that to further uh, erode, and that makes some of the plains. So that plane that may be formed over that is nothing but your peripediment. There is peripediment or a pediment, and that is with respect to moist condition. So here answer is your bajadas. Zujan is of course an horizontal erosional formation that is happening over the rocks. Inselberg is a little elevation area that is going to be present over the region, and playas are some sort of evaporated landforms because of the soil pans that is present, and bajadas, as I told you, it is something called a peripediment. Okay, yes, next one. Individual lava flows are normally only a few feet thick, but over a period of time repeated flow may build up a volcano. So see here, normally only a few feet, usually that means when the lava magma is erupted, so there will be a eruption, and that might be very few thick. So frequent erosions will be like covering that over and over because of some of the frequent eruptions. So when that happens, that makes your shield one. So we can go for the answer is your shield volcano. Composite volcano, you will be somewhat, you where a single go only, it will, because you will be having a viscous lava and the mountain will be growing. No, at the very high elevation. So that is what your composite volcano. Stratovolcano is another similar like another. Cinder cone is a lean type of volcano that is going to be developed like this. So the answer for this your A. All right. Yes. Next one. Isohalides are the lines joining equal. What do you mean by iso? Iso are the sum which is having something we term it as the equal one. So we have temperature, pressure, rainfall, salinity. See, what are isohalides? See, halide, saline. So with that, we can go for that option. Actually, it is the one which is connecting this joining equal salinity. But if you come to the temperature, it is isotherms, isotherms, and we have this as your iso bars, we call the line joining the equal pressure, equal rainfall. Isonef is for equal cloudiness. This is isoheights. Isoheights is the one which is used for the same rainfall. Isonef is for same cloudiness. Like that, we have another one, isohel, where you have equal sunlight in that region. Isohel. All right. So these are something what you have to remember. Fine. So answer for this is your option D. Let's go for the next one. Infant mortality rate or the mortality ratio of which one of the following countries is comparable to that of India? What is infant mortality rate? Infant mortality rate is something what you measure the number of births of the child less than 1 year for 1,000 number of babies. We call it as infant mortality rate. Infant mortality rate. If the same thing is less than 5 years for 1,000 children, we call that as your child mortality rate. And similarly, if we have 1 lakh mothers, how many mothers are dying for 1 lakh mothers? We call that as your maternal mortality rate. And some of the babies which die within the 1 month, we call that as your neonatal or neonatal mortality rate. So here the question they are asking is with respect to infant mortality rate. So here, with which of the following countries? See, it is very simple. Which is the one country which is having a similar kind of a population is China. Obviously with the China only we do have to measure this one. So obviously it's not the USA, Sri Lanka, or none of the words. The China was the one which is much of the competitive. So it is better for us to measure the China's infant mortality rate with us, right? Let's go for the next one. Match the list and match the list 2. So this is also, this one seems to be a little repeated in some of the other question papers also. So they are asking the railway zone and your headquarters. Say here also it is simple. You see, Southwestern Railway is the one which is matching with your Hubli. Alright, so option is your where you have C matched with 4. You can go with either A or D, and B and C is eliminated. So obviously automatically which is the one that is other matched? B is 1. That means South Central Secunderabad is attached. So what we have is your Southeast Central. Southeast Central is your Bilaspur. Southeastern is your Kolkata. So where you have A is 2, this one, and D is 3. So option for this is your A option. Alright, simple one. So 10-degree channel is found between, see, North Andaman, Middle Andaman. See, this is something what they have asked with the islands, map based question. See, these we have Andaman group of islands, these we have Nicobar group of island. Between that we have a channel that is nothing but your 10-degree channel. So that is what they are asking. Here we have North Andaman, Middle Andaman, South Andaman, North Andaman, Middle Andaman, South Andaman, and the small one what we have is your Little Andaman. So your South Andaman, Little Andaman is divided between Duncan Passage. But the condition what they are asking with between which Andaman and this one. So 10-degree channel is present between your Little Andaman, Car Nicobar. So Car Nicobar is the first island of your Nicobaris island, Car Nicobar, and last what we have is your Great Nicobar. So then we have in between we have a Nancowry island, and this is a Car Nicobar, Little Nicobar, Nancowry, and Great Nicobar. So option is what they have given is your Little Nicobar and Car Nicobar. That is the answer. That is what they are asking with respect to 10-degree channel. Fine. Let's go for the next one. So waterfall and state. This is also match the following. So you have to know at least 1 or 2 waterfalls to just match this. So Dudhsagar, maybe some are very familiar. So Dudhsagar is present in Goa actually. So the white it's called Doodh is something called milk. So the water color or the waterfall itself looks like a white milk color. So that B is 4, where you have B matched for these two. So options has to be in B and C. A and D is eliminated, and you have your C matched automatically. So see, Duduma is in Odisha. Alright. So then Kiliyur is in Tamil Nadu. Barkana is in Karnataka. So with this, B is 3, where you have, A is 3, you have A matching 3, D is 1. So obviously this is your option B. Alright. Fine. Which one of the following is not a resultant of El Nino effect? See, what do you mean by El Nino? El Nino is the one which is actually having a change in the water system of your southern hemisphere. Between your, if you take this as your South America, this as Australia, and this as your Africa and Madagascar region, where we have India present over here, this as your equator. So the water that is cold current that is flowing along the South America, that is a Peruvian current, and your East Australian current is a warm current. Like that, similarly, there is a shift in the water takes place. When that shift takes place, we call it as southern oscillation, and that one we call it as El Nino southern oscillation. So because of that, what are the options they have given? Distortion of equatorial atmospheric circulation. Of course, it do disturb this one, because the Walker circulation is disturbed, and similarly your southwest monsoon is disturbed, and your easterly jet streams will not actually descend along the proper low pressure area. So this of course distort. Flow of southeast trade winds towards the Indian Ocean. Yes, there is also another thing. Irregularities in the evaporation of seawater. Of course, reduction in the amount of, here here irregularities in the evaporation of the seawater. Of course, it is there. Reduction in the amount of planktons, which reduces the number of fish in the sea. This is also present. But the thing is, here it has no effect with the flow of southeast trade winds towards the Indian Ocean. So equatorial atmospheric circulation, irregularities in the evaporation of seawater. See here, of course, it do distort the equatorial atmospheric circulation. Of course, that is right. They are asking not a resultant. So flow of southeast trade winds towards the Indian Ocean. See, flow of southeast trade winds is not actually because of your El Nino effect. Of course, El Nino effect has some influence on the southeast trade winds, which have been already originated. So for that, and irregularities in the evaporation of seawater, of course it will be there, but that is not actually a major this one. It do actually make the distort, or the flow of southeast trade winds will be disturbed. Because of that, when we have El Nino, the monsoon will be delayed. So what we can go for this, and even your amount of planktons reduction will be also there, because your upwelling along South America will be changed. So because of when you have a upwelling in the normal condition, when you have a cold current, you will be having a good fishing grounds. So that will help to increase the amount of plankton. So when that is shifted, obviously this also happen, but the irregularities is not actually the resultant. So this one, what we can go option is your C. Fine. Yes. Which of the following variables are displayed in population pyramids? See, population pyramid is usually something like what we have, the age groups, and of course male female. So we will be having your age groups here, where you have a younger population, you will be having a age old population, male, female, of course, no. So it will be obviously both, we will be having age groups and sex indicators. Option is your C. All right. Match the list 1 and list 2. So lake and state they are giving. So lake, whatever the vast, see, Vembanad is the one lake which is present in the Kerala. So we have D2. So option C and D. A and B has to be obviously cancelled out. So obviously A is matched with 4. Kaliveli is present in the Tamil Nadu. So then we have Kajer and Kachiopalri. So Kajer is in Himachal Pradesh, Kachiopalri is in Sikkim. So B is 3. Where you have B matched with 3? Obviously this one. Answer for you is your D. C is 1. Alright. Yes, for this and all, you should be aware about your current affairs and other things, map based one. It is very important. Fine, let's go for the next one. Which one of the following is the most important factor for the formulation of smog? See, when do we have smog? Usually when there is a winter night, or when we have a much of your cold season, and you have your smoke that is going to be mixing with your fog. So long winter night, of course, it is a formation for smog, fog. not smog, for fog. Formation of inversion lid, of course, it is also aiding you to make the fog. Presence of many air pollutant resources is the one which is bring you smoke. The smoke gets mixed with your fog, makes your smog. So obviously answer is this one. Rapid fall in temperature with the increasing height level. No, that is not the one. So this is the actual answer. All right. Yeah. Next one. Which of the following statements is true with regard to greenhouse? What is greenhouse? Of course, see, these are the lengthy statements. There will be something called a small flaw will be there. So greenhouse effect is something like a short wavelength infrared radiation from the sun can enter into the greenhouse, while the longer wavelength infrared radiation from the ground and plant inside the greenhouse cannot pass back throughout the glass. That is what, right? Actually, the short wavelength infrared radiation from the sun can enter into the greenhouse, and the longer wavelength infrared radiation from the ground and the plant inside the greenhouse can also pass back. No, that is not the one. That is wrong. Shorter wavelength infrared radiation from the sun cannot enter. No, if it is not entering means that would have been difficult. So answer, no infrared radiation can pass through the glass. No, that is also wrong. So option is your A. So that is why we will be having your earth warming. If this is the atmosphere where your short wavelength comes, and this is the earth, there are some long wave radiations that is going from the earth that is going to be trapped because of what you have your greenhouse gases. Because of much increase in the greenhouse gases, your temperature is, all the things have been hidden, and those things will be increasing the temperature, and that makes your global warming. So that's why we are trying to reduce this greenhouse uh, gases. With that, we have the Kyoto Protocol and other protocols with the United Nations. So answer for this is your option A. Next, Mount Tulier is an important mountain peak of Andaman and Nicobar Island. See here, the questions are much are asked with your island states or union territories. You should be aware about all these things. So the answer for this Mount Tulier is actually, it is present in the Great Nicobar. So kindly check out the peaks which is present in all the Andaman Islands and do test. It is present in your Great Nicobar. Alright. Next one, which one of the following land surface has the highest albedo? What do you mean by albedo? Albedo is the one which is something called a reflectivity, which surface actually reflects the sunlight back very fast, or the thing which is having a clear surface. For example, you take a snow or you take a tar road. So obviously tar is black, snow is white color. So when there is white color, the reflectivity is more. That means albedo is high for snow. But if the tar, it's a black, it will absorb. That's why we prefer to wear white color dresses during summer. So your albedo effect of the snow is more. The question options they have given is snow covered mountain, barren rocky paid mountains, sandy desert, mangrove forest. So answer for this is your option A. Snow covered mountain is the one which is having a highest albedo. Alright. So next one, which one of the following is an exhaustible but renewable natural resource? Of course, this is the one which is asked, exhaustible but renewable natural resource. The thing is, solar energy is a renewable, but it is not exhaustible, so it cannot be the one. Water in usable condition. Soil is not actually a something we can take it as a renewable. It is actually a non-renewable one because it is keep on being exhausted. Landscape in natural conditions, something both are similar. So what we can go answer for this is your option B, because that becomes groundwater that filters out because of this water cycle only, that gets somehow to be renewable. So because of that, we have option B as a source. So with this, we'll end up this video. Thanks for watching. If you want further videos analysis, kindly do watch the other videos. Thank you.